The next page, believe it or not, Kuf Yud Gimel. After discussing all the various madregas, we came to address the principle Oyer Ha'Ein Sof. Oyer Ha'Ein Sof means the Oyer that represents Ein Sof. And as we said, the principle of Gilui, that you megala that which is there inherently. There is not a special step to bring it forth. You megala the essential reality. This is Oyer Ha'Ein Sof. This is a Gilui from Etzem. Not a Gilui that Etzem produces, but a Gilui from Etzem as such. And they pointed out, this Gilui tells you that there is an Etzem. And finally, we came to the point of explaining that this Oyer Ha'Ein Sof, this is is what the Pasuk speaks of, says about the Eibusha created. It said to be Oyer the first day. He created a light the first day. And we brought down the Medrash and the Zohar that this Oyer that was created the first day, this is not an Oyer that world can process. It's not an Oyer that can come into Kelim. The world ultimately, in order to claim or to acclimate and to have a worldly relationship, it has to be in Kelim. This Oyer cannot come into Kelim. It's Oyer Ein Sof. And this is why this Oyer, in fact, was concealed or treasured out. And at the end we said that this, what happens with this Oyer, as a result, instead of being Oyer Pnimi, which means Oyer that goes into Kelim, it resulted to be Oyer makif, the Oyer that is all-encompassing. Again, we should focus into the word Oyer, because invariably we will translate it as Oyer, a light emanating from a light fixture, which means a light is created for the sake of light. Here we're talking about Oyer that represents the Etzem. So the question is, if this is representing the Etzem, how does it become all-encompassing? Etzem is where the Etzem is. How does it become Oyer makif? Thus, it leads us to recognize that this is the Etzem that is everywhere. Like the Rebbe says over here, there is not different madregas, and it is in all worlds equally. because it has its source everywhere. And thus, this is not an oil that is suitable per se for world. But it was not taken away completely, because the world needs to know that there is an Etzel. This is why it becomes a oil makif. The world needs to know that there is, it gives the world a sense of reality, that it is really within and encompassed by an essential truth. There is definitely, what's called, in our terms, there is a godly element in the world. And this is how come when we see the world rejuvenating from day to day, from year to year, the world is today 5,700 and so forth years, and it is as young as it was when it was created. With the same vitality and the same capability. Because it has an impact by the surrounding oil, by the oil aliki. The world is so self-substantiating that we don't question where is it coming from. Where is the world coming from? It represents a reality because it's encompassed within the divine reality. There's not a question, how is the sun going to rise tomorrow morning? And who is maintaining this cycle indefinitely with such precision? It is a divine will that this is what it should be, and this is what it represents. Now we go to page Kuf Yud Yim. According to this, let me get that box for a second. Thank you. According to this explanation, Yesh Laimar, it may very well be said, the B'shorshon that in the source, Bo'er in Soif Shelifnei HaTzimtzum, in the yourself that precedes the Tzimtzum, which is the Ein Sof itself as it is revealing the Etzem. Give it to him. Pass it off. Inyan Vayiten Eishem Alekim, the principle that we learned that it says in the first day, no, not the first day, the fourth day, Vayiten Eishem Alekim, that Hashem placed the luminaries in Reki HaShemayim, in the firmament of the heavens, Shuhu Oil HaShemesh, which is the light of the sun, lahoir, lahoir, to illuminate, which is not the light that was on the first day. The first day of creation, there was the oir, whose definition is not lahoir, to bring light, but to bring the essential, the atzem holocaust. Gilui, as we explained the principle of Gilui. But then on the fourth day there was the creation of the luminaries. And Hashem placed the luminaries in Riki Hashemayim, Lahoir, and they are not just telling us that there's a creator. Lahoir, that their function, their definition is Lahoir, to illuminate, which means that they have a proximity. They can relate to the world can relate to them. Who that refers to Mashashir and Insoif Lahoir Ho'ilamus. It is that which the Oir Ein Soif. It is not the Oir Ein Soif itself. It is what Oir Ein Soif had approximated, had projected. Lahoir Ho'ilamus, to illuminate and to bring a divine truth to the world. V'huinyan, which is also the same meaning, that Ho'es Sfiras Agnuzis. This is the Sfiras Agnuzis. This is the Oir Ein Soif. Agnuzis are contained within the Oir Ein Soif. But the Sfiras. Sfiras per se is a world level identifier. This refers to Agnuzis. Agnuzis means which are contained within their source. Shemisham nimshach oir hakav, wherefrom is drawn the oir hakav. What is oir hakav? Oir hakav, the kav means the light. The line means that a line implies that there is different multi-pointed light, which means that there are multi-stages. Sheba b'mido mishkol. This kav comes and is presented b'mido mishkol, with the measurement or mishkol and weight. In other words, it is judged exactly what is being presented. Lefi erech ha'elamus, according to the proximity and the acceptability from world. So that world should be able to accept it. This is Esesphiras Agnuzis. These Esesphiras Agnuzis, even though the Gonus, they're contained within the Oir Ein Soif, but within the Oir Ein Soif itself, there is this projection of that which will be able to ultimately be accepted by world. The light that was created the first day. This is the Oir Ein Soif. This is the Oir Ein Soif habli gvul. This is the limitless Oir Ein Soif. Shehu rak, which is only b'bchinas gilui min ha'etzem. It only represents. It has only the element of gilui min ha'etzem, of a revealing element from the etzem. Ve'einei bo b'bchinas mido gvul, and it does not come. It does not lend itself to be recognized and to be, so to speak, funneled in the middle gvul aspect of measure and limit. Lefiera ho'elam is in proximity to world. Shein beichin luki madrigas, because in this light there is no distinction of madrigas. Why is there no distinction of madrigas? Because there is not there's not a source and a development. The source is everywhere. Umeir bekulam shav, and it illuminates it is represented bekulam mishava in all the spheres equally. This is an important union. This is an union that is, if we focus into this, it will be quite revealing. Because in our sense, there is Chochmah, Bina, V'das. And we always point out, Chochmah is the first step of the recognition of the knowledge of Elokus. Then that comes into Bina. Bina is a recipient from Chochmah. What does Bina discern? What does Bina delve into it? That which Chochmah presents to it. Therefore, this is the order: Chochmah, and then comes Bina. So, Chochmah is the first step from Ein Sof, and then Bina is a derivative of that. It does not have direct access to Ein Sof. It receives its input from Chochmah, and then further down to Das, and then further to the Zayin Tachtenis. However, he's saying that there is Esesphiras Agnosis. And Esesphiras Agnosis means that it contained within the Ein Sof, within the Atzim. What do Esesphiras do within the Atzmos? The Atzmos, there is everything everywhere. There is not higher and lower. So this is what we're saying. That in Atzmut itself there is a projection. There is a projection that there should be worlds. And there is the design, what's called four worlds, or the Esesphiras Agnosis. In other words, Esesphiras Agnosis and world per se is not the result of Tzimtzum. It comes to be revealed by Tzimtzum, but that's not the result. It's not what creates it. What creates it is in the divine intent that there should be such a thing. And this is the meaning of Oyer Makif. Oyer Makif, Makif means encompassing. What does it encompass? And what is the point of this encompassment? This encompassment is a statement that the world's level in general is actually contained and representative of divine will at all madrigas. And from that perspective, they're all equal. The highest and the lowest, it's all intended by the divine will. This is what we said in the beginning when we started discussing the Sinyan, that even though the Gilui is a Gilui from the Hoetze, but it is volitional. It is not an automatic Gilui just because it's there. There's an intent behind it. And this becomes the makif. This becomes the sky, so to speak, and the ultimate housing for world.
what becomes the sky? This intent. And the the point is here that it is providing a super reality that precedes, Seder Stalshalos precedes Chokmah.
Right. This is an important thing which I want we should recognize. The world, the worldly world, perceives it existing in nothingness. And then the world begins to develop itself, like this. The stupid idea, the evolutionary process, it builds one block and it makes a groundwork for the world. The ground for the world is a divine will that there should be a world. This is the basis and the groundwork and the environment in which it develops. There is definitely a developmental process in the world. It must be. Otherwise it will not be worldly, like Yom Rishon. When we come and we see a city, we know that the city was not built in one day or an hour. It was built piecemeal. And it started off with certain groundwork. Give it an environment where to develop it to. But this environment, where it gets developed is, it has its source in Oyer Yosef. In human terms, to put it in simple human terms, you come into a city and you see a whole labyrinth of streets and development. Ah, wonderful. This labyrinth developed piecemeal. But it started with a projection, a human projection, that there should be a livable area. A livable area means an area that provides access and provides various resources and so forth. That projection is what brought about the development of the entire city. Okay, I have to cut a little short today. Moshe Sylvia is making a bris this morning, an einikel bris, in Shane's shul. And he was hoping that I'd be able to make it, and I think I can make it. So we'll cut it briefly, a little bit short.